Hey y'all, I'm coming to you from my local mall. I came here to do some window shopping to fill my heart and my soul with some eye candies. And if you haven't heard, quite a lot of people in the fashion industry are outraged. We got our handbags all up in a bunch because Chanel has dropped yet another price increase on those classic Chanel handbags. A lot of people were looking forward to adding classic Chanel bags to their collections. Some people have been saving for years. They've had these items on their wish list for so long, but with the recent price increase, these handbags are now either further and further away from being attainable. And as I was walking through the mall today, I got some inspiration. I thought this would be the absolute perfect time to do what I do best, to share what I love to share them, some alternatives to these Chanel classic bags. The bags in questions are the Chanel Classic Flap, the 2.55, and the Chanel Boy Bag. The first set of bags that I'm going to be talking about are those classic iconic bags from some of the other well-loved super brands that I think serve well as an alternative to the Chanel classics. Not necessarily as replicas or dupes. They don't look exactly like the Chanel classics, but they serve very similar functions. They are still more affordable in context of luxury fashion, of course, and they are classic iconic pieces that are worth owning. The second category are going to include bags that are from Chanel that are not considered amongst these classic items that were increased in prices, but they are still worthwhile pieces. They are still decent in quality as well as affordable in the context of luxury again. And the final section is for all those people who really want a bang for your buck. You don't want to spend way too much, but you still want to have that Chanel aesthetic. This is where you're going to see those affordable bags from well-loved mid-range designer brands. So in the first category, I want to talk about these iconic bags or these classic items from our beloved super brands. And I'm going to start with Gucci. And yes, I know when you think of Gucci, you would not necessarily think of a similar aesthetic to Chanel. Gucci tends to be a little bit more loud, a little bit more modern, a little bit more flamboyant. You see the Gucci logo everywhere on everything. But Gucci does carry quite a few subtle, quiet luxury kind of items, and the Gucci Dionysus bag was the first thing that came to my mind when I thought of a Chanel alternative that is affordable. The Gucci Dionysus bag comes in several different sizes, as small as a mini to as large a size that rivals the Chanel Classic Flap in large. I've tried several Gucci bags before, and I will admit that the quality is not always up to par with other brands like Chanel or even Hermes. But every single time I have taken up a Gucci Dionysus bag, I am impressed with the quality of the materials, whether it's in leather or canvas. The Gucci Dionysus bag always impresses. The hardware on this bag is so good. And at $3,300 for this leather Gucci Dionysus bag that is comparable to the Chanel Classic Flap in medium, you are definitely getting value for money. You're talking about a heritage brand like Gucci, a quiet luxury classic looking item that could fit into almost any lifestyle. This is very versatile. You could definitely not go wrong choosing the Gucci Dionysus. Next up is a bag that actually sparked the idea for this video from our beloved Italian brand Fendi. This is a Fendi baguette, and I will admit it was not love at first sight for me when I saw Fendi baguette some years ago. I saw it in the kind of canvas material, the brown. It just did not look appealing to me. I didn't like that color variation. However, as time went by and I started to get more exposure to luxury fashion and I started to see more and more Fendi baguettes in real life, I realized just why this bag is such an icon for the house. Now that they had their anniversary editions, I am absolutely fallen in love. The colors are really what get me with the Fendi baguette. If you purchase a Fendi baguette, you are getting a historically iconic bag for $2,000+, which is unheard of in today's economy, in today's society, in today's fashion industry. You are getting a steal and a half with a Fendi baguette bag. Just look at all these colors, look at all these variations. And my absolute favorite thing about these bags is just how versatile this bag can be. You could wear this with the detachable strap, and I'm loving all these different variations of detachable straps that make the bag just look so trendy, so chic. It is a classic that is going to survive and outlive all the different trends for years to come. Absolute perfection. I am loving every minute of this Fendi moment that is going on. You can definitely get standout pieces from this line of bags. You cannot go wrong if you shop the Fendi baguette. If you've watched any of my other videos, you have an idea of which brand of bag is going to come up next. And yes, 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 it is a YSL bag. Saint Laurent is my favorite luxury design house. If you don't know that, now you know. And I think they are always very intentional with their pieces. I believe they do a lot of market research. They look into what a lot of people love. They look into a lot of the classics. And not only do they try to replicate these classics to ensure that they're appealing to certain audience, but they also always add a unique little spin, a twist on all these items so that people can feel like they are getting something different, that they are able to express their individuality without looking common or basic. And the envelope line of bags from YSL, I think, is a perfect alternative to the Chanel classics. And a lot of people already know this, and that is why they own these bags. YSL, of course, is amazing when it comes to value for money. They are very intentional again about how they price their items because they want to make sure that their items are accessible to as many as possible, but they don't want to cheapen their brand. So you can definitely get one of these YSL envelope bags for less than $5,000. A lot of them are in the $2,000 range, and they function very well. They function just similar to the Chanel bags, and dare I say, look a little bit more feminine, a little bit more elegant than the Chanel bags, even though they can still come across as casual, semi-casual. That makes them much more versatile than these classic bags. I think any size of these YSL envelope bags can transition from day to night pieces. So look into YSL. I'll never shut up about them because I think they're absolutely the best. The second category is for people who still want to own a Chanel handbag, but the classics are now out of your price range because of the recent increase. The Chanel 19 bag. That's if you like what it looks like. It's for some, but not for everyone. And because it is a newer bag, it's not considered among the classics, and the prices have not gone up significantly. You can still get a decent size Chanel 19 bag for less than $6,000. Majority of them are in the $5,000 range. If you purchase in a smaller size, it may be less than $5,000. And definitely you can get this on the resale market because, as I said, a lot of people bought into the hype of the bag, but it's not really for everyone. It's not as versatile as a lot of other bags, especially the ones I've mentioned before from the other brands. However, it's still a beautiful bag. I think it's still a great quality bag. Chanel has been having quite a lot of quality issues, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about any issues with the quality of the Chanel 19 bag. And even though I think it's going to end up becoming a classic or an icon, I still think it is a very unique kind of bag. It's not very common, and that would make it a great bag for anyone who wants to own a Chanel bag, wants to have a piece that's a little bit different, a little bit more unique, a little bit more special, and purchasing at this time would make you purchase into the brand's heritage because I really truly believe this is going to be one of their classic items. So you'll definitely have the story to tell when you're telling your grandchildren about how you built your collection. You can tell them that you were among the first to purchase these Chanel 19 bags before they became icons of the brand. I do love Chanel as a brand, and what I love the absolute most about Chanel are their seasonal pieces. So if you still want to purchase Chanel items but you can't afford the classics, look into the seasonal pieces. A lot of times the colors are very bright, very bold, or pastel, not very versatile daily wear pieces. However, they're very, very beautiful pieces that anyone can have in their collection. And a lot of the Chanel items on my luxury wish list are actually seasonal pieces. So consider looking on the Chanel website, going into stores. A lot of times the sales associates will show you these seasonal pieces because they want to sell them. And you might definitely find a hidden gem that you will absolutely fall in love with and you will fawn over for years to come. Okay, so now to the fun, more relatable part of this video. You were probably watching all along like, girl, I ain't got $5,000 to spend on no bag. I ain't got $2,000 to spend on no bag. Don't worry, I have you. Here are the more affordable alternatives to the Chanel Classic bags. First up, we have Tory Burch and their Kyra Chevron collection, or Kira, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Just like the Chanel Classics, they come in several different colors, different sizes. I'm loving the gold chain, the gold hardware. The Tory Burch logo is not so crazy on these. Prices are pretty decent as well for a shoulder crossbody kind of bag. Definitely fits a lot. Definitely a rival to the Chanel, especially when you want value for your money. Tory Burch is a brand for you to look into. The next set of bags come from a brand that I discovered on social media, and since discovering them, I've just been saving and adding all their posts to my archives because I find them so fascinating. These are the chocolate bags by the brand Sangmont, and Sangmont is a Chinese brand. They give the most beautifully handcrafted items at the most affordable prices. Majority of these bags are less than $300, and as you can see, they're very reminiscent of the Chanel Classics. They have different lines of bags that also have very similar aesthetics to other classic bags from other brands, but the chocolate line of bags are the closest to the Chanel Classics. And in the same way you could wear your Chanel Classic bags is the same way you could wear these Sangmont chocolate bags. They come in various sizes that are very similar to the Chanel bags, and they even have a size that's large enough to hold a 15-inch laptop. For me, that is a game changer. I just think this is a perfect set of bags. I love the history, I love the heritage. If you're interested, you can go on their website and find out about the heritage of Sangmont. That will make you way more interested in making these bags your purchase of choice. And the place is getting noisier as I share with you the final bag on this list. It is the most affordable on this list, also inspired by social media, and is also a handcrafted bag owned by a small business. These are hand woven bags from the brand Lilu London. Just look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. No, they're not made of leather. No, they're not premium materials. Yes, you're going to have to take care of these bags, but just look at these things. They are so cool. I've seen her, the owner of the brand, I've seen her making these bags. And yes, I've been on Etsy. I've seen very similar looking bags. However, I just absolutely love the time, the effort that is placed into making these items that I think makes them much more valuable. If you've ever had to make anything on your own, you will know how much hard work goes into it, especially for something like a woven piece. Trust me, it's a lot of work. And these bags are less than $200. The interior is beautiful, very vibrant colors. I know 110% that I'm going to purchase one of these bags, and I hope you will too. I hope you've enjoyed these videos. I hope you've seen something new. I hope you've seen things that you've already loved but just needed a reminder that existed. Tell me what you think about the latest Chanel price increases. Do you think the brand is going down? Do you think this is a bad idea for the brand? Do you think it's a great idea for the brand? Are you still going to purchase a Chanel Classic? Or are you going to move to another brand or another Chanel bag? Are you going to keep your points in your pockets for other things that you think are much more important in life? Until my next video, stay fashionably well and in good health.